So I kind of feel like I should give a spoiler warning, but seeing as you probably already read the title and seen the thumbnail, that's very pointless. But just so you know, this video is based around the final boss inside of Doom Eternal's story. So if you guys are sensitive to what the boss looks like, proceed with caution. Just be aware this is not a guide on how to defeat the boss, its attacks, or anything like that. This is mainly focused on the lore, the origins of the Icon of Sin, how it plays into the overall story inside of Doom Eternal. Id Software definitely put a lot of effort into the lore inside of Doom Eternal, and I thought today we would take the time to appreciate that by looking at the origins of the Icon of Sin. One more thing before we hop into it, I want to let you guys know I'm going to try to keep this as straightforward and focused primarily on the Icon of Sin as possible, but know a lot of characters and events come into factor here, from who the Betrayer is. No, he's not just a cave hermit that gives you an advanced GPS on how to find the second Hell Priest. He's actually very important here. We're also going to talk briefly about who the Sentinels are, why the Con Maker awoke the Icon of Sin to begin with, and what her purpose of trying to control it was. So in layman's terms, I'm not only going to be giving you the lore behind the Icon of Sin, but we're also going to clarify the story of Doom Eternal a little bit here to not only help those that were following the story, but also help those that completely said to hell with the story and just went on a full rampage of the demonic hordes. No pun intended. Let's start off on the Sentinels, who they are, their war against Hell, how the Con Maker and Hell Priest became allies against the Night Sentinels, and the Doom Guy. So very briefly, the Sentinels are those who inhabit the planet of Argent D'Nur. This includes the not yet called Hell Priest, the Doom Guy, yes, the now Marauder enemy types, and the Night Sentinels. The Night Sentinels were the main fighting force of Argent D'Nur's army against the Legions of Hell, which the Betrayer was once one fighting alongside Doom Guy. Now eventually a civil war broke out between the Argent D'Nur inhabitants when it was discovered by the Night Sentinels on one of their invasions of Hell that the Makers had Argent factories inside of Hell that were constructed by Sentinel slaves, and the Argent energy that these factories were producing that was given to Argent D'Nur by the Makers under the assumption that it was going to be used to help them defeat the hellish hordes were actually the essence of tortured souls. This discovery caused a rift between the inhabitants of Argent D'Nur, creating the current Night Sentinels, which was comprised of Doom Guy and the free people of Argenta, and the opposing side being the Diag Order, which was comprised of what we know now as the Hell Priests, and the people of Argenta, or the people of Argent D'Nur, who felt loyalty to the Makers for providing them with the technology that Argent energy was able to bring them. It quickly became apparent that the Night Sentinels and Doom Guy were way too strong to defeat in battle, and it wasn't until the Betrayer struck up a deal with Diag Grav that the tide was finally turned. The Betrayer, also known as Commander Velen, recently had his son killed in battle. Haunted by visions of him being tortured in hell, he approached the Hellish Priest, offering his services in exchange for his son's resurrection. The priest accepted this offer, and with Velen's help, they captured the Race. The Race were beings that were the source of the Night Sentinel's power. After the capture of the Race, the Hellish Priest kept their deal of resurrecting Commander Velen's son, but not the way he had hoped. The Betrayer's son was resurrected as the Icon of Sin, his disembodied heart being the only thing that tied this demonic titan to humanity, thus not completely ending the Betrayer's son's suffering. Early in the story of Doom Eternal, we also see Commander Velen held up in a pit of hell, staying there out of the shame of betraying D'Nur, the very city he swore to protect. During this cutscene, he also gives the blade in which later Doom Guy uses to stab the heart of the Icon of Sin when the Makers are performing their ritual.
Hear me, Slayer. When his heart is laid to rest, then his soul will be at peace. And so will mine.
So that's the beginning story of the Icon of Sin in the very early stages of Doom Eternal. Progressing forward, there's no more talk of the Titan until after Doom Guy kills the last Hell Priest on Sentinel Prime. By killing the final Hell Priest, the Slayer brings an end to Hell's conception of Earth, which in turn drives the Con Maker both out of desperation and anger to resurrect the Icon of Sin.
If you had let the culling continue, the human race you fight to protect would have survived. Now I will resurrect the Icon of Sin. He will devour Earth and leave your home world in ruins. Life on your planet shall never return.
Her way of both saving her world and punishing you for disrupting her plans, she plans to control the Icon of Sin and unleash it on Earth, bringing humanity to an end. In an effort to stop her, Doom Guy has to go all the way to her homeworld of Urdak, where, here in the middle of a ritual designed to ensure the Maker can control the Icon of Sin, Doom Guy pulls out the blade Commander Velen gave him, impales the heart of the Icon of Sin, resulting in the Titan coming to life and hopping into the portal leading straight to Earth.
You cannot stop the procession. We will not be able to control it! No!
It's very important to note that with the very presence of the icon of sin, on Earth it has the ability of disrupting dimensions. If it stays on Earth for too long, it can actually disrupt the space-time surrounding Earth, potentially resulting in the planet imploding into a black hole that could be big enough to suck the entire universe into hell itself. After defeating the Con Maker, Doomguy then rushes to Earth to challenge the icon of sin once and for all. After a two-stage battle, the Slayer puts an end to the icon of sin's rampage by impaling its brain with the Slayer's crucible. It's important to note that the blade has to stay inside the beast for the Titan to stay dead, hence why he breaks it off in the brain. We see him do this similarly back on Taurus Nabad, where he first gets the crucible. He actually breaks the blade off inside that Titan as well to ensure that that Titan does not resurrect. Anyways, there you guys have it. That is the story behind the icon of sin. The only real questions that I kind of have towards this is, once Doomguy stabbed the heart of the icon of sin, which was said to be the heart of Commander Velen's son, I'm assuming that would imply that the icon of sin is like the rest of the demons. They're just soulless, bent on hell and destruction, and the icon of sin was basically just another form of keeping Commander Velen's son imprisoned. But that's gonna go to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys did enjoy the video, do me a favor of dropping me a like, as well as maybe consider subscribing for some more future Doom Eternal content. And of course, if there's anything else you want to add to this, feel free to share that stuff down in the comment section below. The most informative comment will be pinned like always. But until next time, my friends, I will see you all later.